Gold fever this week on NWA Powerr. But just aside that, there is going to be a big announcement at the end of this episode, which my colleague doesn't even know about yet. She's very pooped. She's very tired. She's just spent 3 days with Jake the Snake Roberts. No snake bites. She's alive. That is really her. It's Fiona Lockren. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening. I'm all right. I'm all right.
3 good days, though, by the sounds of it.
3 really good days. In all fairness, 4 kind of hectic days on the trot because we had the show in Campbelltown with PVW on Friday. So that was a long day. That was a 17, 18 hour day. And then 3 phenomenal shows with Jake in Glasgow and Manchester and London. I'm sure if any of you were there, you will back me up on that. The man is a wonderful storyteller.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I'm glad it all went really well. And obviously, big thanks to Jake for doing that as well for Inside the Ropes. We wish I was there, but I missed it. But I'm going to see the clips on YouTube when they go out, because I'm
There
sure,
will be stuff going up, absolutely.
absolutely, and I'm sure as always when Inside the Ropes put clips up on YouTube, they are generally good to watch. Speaking of episodes that are good to watch, that brings me to this week's Powerr. What a great, again, we say this every single week about the opening video of Powerr, and this week was all about Pretty Empowered.
I like this one this week.
Yeah, I thought it was tremendous. It was about Ella, Kylie, and Kenzie, obviously going through the little rough patch. It turns out to be more in the rough patch, and we'll get into that in the main event. But that obviously the main event of the show was Taylor Rising versus Kylie versus Ella Envy. Winner takes on Kenzie at the Crockett Cup. But before we get to all that, we have to start with the aforementioned Crockett Cup first round. It was the country
Mhm.
gentlemen, Savages of Samoa. Here's the thing. We have to be unbiased, right, on this show, and we have to give you what you truly feel about it, whether it's positive or negative. I didn't like this one bit, and I'll go into
Okay.
why. Normally, with four big guys, I'm really like meat slapping, fantastic. I'm normally all over it. I felt it was too slow.
I thought it was quite slow. I've literally just written slow and steady.
And I don't know if it was like there was a good bit when they was working the arm. The country gentlemen are working the arm of one of the savages. I think it was Alofa or whatever his name was. They were working the arm quite early, which I did like, because that was quite a good thing to take away the, that was his big thing. He was doing quite a lot of chops and quite a lot of thrust with his. So I was taking away. I like that bit. It felt as if, like, when you get two people then they've never worked before and they're kind of feeling each other.
Just feeling each other out.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that for me. And they took a break halfway through the match, which is very unusual for NW.
They've done that a couple of times to
Mm,
to to go to an ad break, which you don't actually lose any of the match. It's like, oh, we're
no.
going to take a short break, and they pick up from where they left off. So it's not like you're
Mm,
missing 3 minutes of the actual match. It does come back to where you left off,
yeah,
but that's so frustrating as a fan. I hate that because if there was any momentum, it's gone.
exactly that. And then there was this bit where the referee was kind of counting to five on a submission. There was no rope break in
Yeah.
there. And I think even AJ Kazana was like, what are you doing? But no, I'll be honest, I didn't like it. It was just one of those things. I didn't
Can't win
particularly.
them all, mate.
You can't win them all. And like I say, on these shows, you do have to be honest when it comes down to, saying what you like. We don't, we're not paid by the NWA to do this show, unfortunately. But, you have to be honest and give critiques. And if I don't like something, I'll say, and I would say why. People agree or disagree is up to them, but I didn't like that. Anyway, long story short, though, we got there at the end. But what I do like about NWA is you do get old school finishes. And there's nothing
We've
more
spoken
old
about
school.
this so many
Yeah, I
times.
know. And I love it. And there's nothing more old school than a good old fashioned clothesline
Yeah.
to end it. And I was quite surprised, actually, that the country gentleman won this. I honestly thought the Savages Samoa, not because of their ranking, I just thought the Savages Samoa would go on and win. But the country gentleman picked up the win and will take on the Southern Six next.
I'm excited for this one. I am looking forward to that second round match between the those lot. That's gonna be fun and games.
It is now apparently from what I read. If I heard it right during the broadcast, and that doesn't mean to say I am right. I'm thinking I heard it right. That after the round one, everything else is at the Crockett Cup. From what I think that's what Joe said, that they mentioned, oh, at the Crockett Cup they will take on Southern Six, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking that's what they taped a couple of weeks ago. So that was an assuming bit. Um, we then get to a cut scene with Carl. Now, we did say last week that we felt the mic stuff was a bit weak.
I this was kind of apart from the EC3 and the challenger for EC3, this bit was kind of like, I don't care about a local radio host.
Yeah,
I don't. I'm sorry, but I'm sure he's done a great job of promoting the show in the Tampa area or wherever it was taped, but it means nothing to me.
no, and they had the King Bees there as well, and I didn't know. I just again they get all of it. I know they had a bit
It,
of legend on later on, which was nice, but it felt it felt forced.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It didn't feel like I know.
And do you know what really bugged me as well? And this is just me really nitpicking. Obviously, you've got a guy who's on the radio, not used to being on camera. So when he's talking, you're seeing the back of his head. He's standing right in front of Kyle, talking to EC3, and you're seeing the back of his head, and you can see kind of Kyle like
Yeah,
in the background. But I just it didn't do anything for me whatsoever. Although the fact that it now means that Legursky's got a title shot
where did that
again
come from?
out the blue because Legursky spoke to this DJ Drew guy from the bump and he has a title shot now.
He's a fixer, right?
Hmm.
But he's got a match next week. So when's he taking on EC3? That was
I
never
don't
announced,
know.
right? They didn't announce it, did they?
I have no idea.
Me either. So anyway, as you rightfully said, Wrecking Ball Legursky gets an NWA title shot because he was a friend of DJ Garabo, I think his name was.
It just feels
Drew
a
Garabo.
little bit random, which
Hmm.
is a lot of NWA is quite random, let's be honest.
I'm not too worried. I mean, it was just again, I just felt this week again that the talking was a lot. For we'll get to more of it a bit later on. There was more. And speaking of talking, it brings us to the next segment. Cooking with Carson was
This week's was mildly better than last week's in terms of it was less misogynistic, it was less, yeah, the content was less offensive. Let's just put it
hmm.
that way. I'm still not entirely sure if this is going to be an ongoing thing. I mean, Carson cracks me up in it. I'm not going to pretend that he doesn't, but I'm just kind of like, why, why?
Yeah.
Somebody had an idea and went, oh, let's film this.
I,
Is it? I'm like, is it deliberately supposed to be forced and wooden, and or is that just? Well, yeah, I'm just not going to say any more than that.
no, I mean, you found out how to season a chicken, right?
Everyone has to season a chicken.
Whilst the slime balls were eating everything in sight.
Eating the dry pasta because why would you not eat dry pasta?
And the looks that kill were just looking like kill.
Trying to be sexy
Yeah.
or something.
It's back next week, from what Carson was saying. It was
Okay.
see you next week was after he's really hilarious laugh, which does make me chuckle to
And
myself.
don't forget to kiss the chef, kiss the
Don't
cook.
we got to remember that line? Don't forget to kiss the chef, which I think one of the slime balls did.
I can't remember if it's don't forget to kiss the chef or don't. It must be cook. Don't forget to kiss the cook.
No, chef
But was it chef? I don't know. But he got a kiss anyway on the shoulder, I
from the
think.
slime ball, though, wasn't
I'm sure
it?
that was delightful.
Wasn't from Mark Over, which is probably what he really wanted. Let's be honest. No, and then we got to another talking segment. Um,
I'd just
Random.
like to say I'm so delighted to see this man back on the screen with a mic in his hand. Geez, you have been missed tremendously. I'm so excited to see what you do in the coming weeks and months.
I am as well.
Welcome back.
Yes, welcome back, G's. And you've got an interesting candidate. Well, not a candidate. You've got an interesting person that you're managing now.
BSM.
Big, strong Mims is who he's managing. I didn't get why Latimer was there.
He didn't really say much other than kind of promote his match with Zion.
He
I mean,
did
he was
that.
looking slick in his suit,
Yeah.
don't get me
Oh, he looked.
wrong. He was
Yeah,
looking
looked.
slick in his
Yeah,
suit.
he looked
But
great.
other than to promote his match with Zion at the Crockett Cup, there wasn't really a lot going on for him. But
No.
this whole Mims, the new BSM, as Jesus calling him, I quite like this new attitude. He's
Yeah.
got that baby face smile, but I think that's very much lulling people into a false sense of security with him.
It's got the same sort of smile as my last guest, Kamara Jackson, just got actually, funnily enough. But yes, I am intrigued. That is something I am intrigued with. I am intrigued to see what they do with Mims. I will just wonder if he's got Latimer in his sights as they were
Who
together
knows?
at some point. I mean, Latimer's got to get past Zion at the Crockett Cup first. We can't forget that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very intrigued to see what they do with Mims. Talking of intriguing, was the next promo, well, the next video, and they do the video.
Baron von Storm is
Yeah,
coming.
what I'm gonna do is I'm going to send you for your personal collection the eyes at the end of the promo because they were
Okay.
very like intense, and that is what I like about it. Was it showed the maniacal side of him, which is the side of Baron von Storm. Do not call him Tim, apparently. Now we have to call him Baron. And he has got a maniacal look about him. He seems all calm and collected, but it looks as like when that bell goes,
He's
the
become
switch,
someone completely different.
the switch is on.
Obviously, he's had those knocks to the head, and as Jax was saying, was it last week? They've just got to go with it. So
They're going to have to go with it. But I mean, another intrigue. I'm waiting to see when we're going to see Baron von Storm in the ring. I want to see Mr. Storm and see what he's like, and see can Jax hold him? Can Jax keep him under control as well?
I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure either. But at least I've gone from being a bit weird about it to being intrigued. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
Sort of wondering what was going on to now
but
that package.
again, I am glad that they finally put the promo package up. I am aware that Baron von Storm was at the Crockett Cup.
Yes.
So people who were at the Crockett Cup live would have no idea, and it's a little bit the continuity is a big issue for me. They should have had that package air before, or yeah, it's just a little bit out of sync. And if you were there live in person in Forney in Texas, you must have been like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Unless they did show it. Have they got video screens or they
They
not?
have got video screens
Yeah.
there, but I
So
really don't know.
maybe we'll have to wait and see. But you are right. They could have easily put that out there before they went and take the Crockett Cup at the week, not last weekend, because they were doing back to the
Yeah,
territories the weekend before. Um, but you've moved me great on to what I really enjoyed this week: the Immortals v the Kids. What a great match that was. I
it
mean, the
was. It was
kids were
very
getting
good.
the kids were getting launched.
What do you
Everybody was,
expect in a ring with those two boys?
oh my God, they were getting thrown around like rag dolls.
You've got Kratos and Odinson. I think really that was pretty much always going to be a given for those boys.
It was. Do you know what though? It was one of those classic power versus speed battles,
Yeah.
which you do get. There was a huge uppercut in this, and there was a big sort. I can't remember the move, but it got like a 2 3/4. There was a big power move. It's reminiscent of a power bomb, but slightly different from one of the Immortals. I think it was Odison. And I mean, he got a 2.5 account, and I kept thinking a bit like last week, if you remember. It might have been even been the slime balls last week. They kept kicking out, and you're thinking,
Yeah.
"Oh, here we go. They're gonna nick one here." I thought the
Yeah, it was
same.
like, oh, it could have gone the other way easily.
Yeah, I thought the same with the kids until the bounce. They nearly bounced him into the fourth row of the ring, and then they hit immortality. And got the victory, and they will go on. And just coincidentally, before we carry on, Billy Corgan was on commentary again this week. Seems to be a recurring theme
He was.
at the minute. But the Immortals are in the actual Crockett Cup. It'll be interesting. I can't remember who they've got. Have I written it
I
down?
can't either. That's terrible. I should have
No.
taken a note on that,
Yes.
but they do move forward.
Daisy Kill and Talos.
Okay.
That's who they've got. That's who they've got in the second round of the Crockett Cup. So it should be interesting.
I'm going to Mortals on that next match then.
You're going for Immortals, okay? To
Yeah.
be honest, yeah, I'm still not convinced on. Yeah, I'm convinced on Talos. Not sure about Daisy Kill yet. Well, again, could grow on you. Could grow on you. As I say, more you see of them. The last bit of the talking was next, which was great to see Dory Funk Jr.
It was indeed. That was a nice surprise, a really nice surprise.
Brilliant to see him and EC3 back again doing there, and
Yeah.
really sort of touching moment where he kind of, I wouldn't say he passed the torch because EC3 he's a veteran, but he was very sort of, here's the keys to the kingdom, so to speak.
Yeah, it wasn't, yeah, it was nice to see they kind of had that whole long stare moment
Mhm.
before they shook hands sort of
Yeah.
thing. And it was very respectful and very, yeah, proper old school for me, that was.
Yeah, loved it. I really did like that. As I said, it felt as if he was sort of giving him the keys to the city, so to speak, or the keys to the NWA, in this sense, as the champion that EC3 has been. Um, Main event. I tweeted out about this, or do we call it X'd out?
It's
Tweeted
still
out?
Twitter to me. I don't care.
Still tweeting at me, damn it. And I said on the tweet that this match shows you why that the NWA Women's Division is one of the strongest divisions in wrestling. Rising versus Kylie Paige versus Ella Envy, and she's now got Miss Star.
I know. That's quite a formidable force, the two of them together.
Interesting because they then said on comms that Ella Envy is fully broken away from Pretty Empowered and that she is now with Miss Star, full stop.
I'm thinking that's a tag team to contend with. Once my star gets that neck brace off
Yeah, she's still got, how long has she had that on now?
forever.
Forever. Yeah. But this was, I mean, showcased the talent or what?
It was so good.
I love this match. There was so much good stuff about it, and the finish to this match was so well done as well. There was the I think was it the cutter that she done or Code Kylie? I think she done, and
Yep.
then she done that. Ella's behind her with the crucifix roll up and gets the victory, and now
Gets the pin. And Kylie's face, bless her, she just like, what happened? She looked really upset, really, really upset at the end of that.
here's the thing with this now. Are the Page sisters going to be faces now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or what? Or is this a Hill v Hill program?
Um, I'd like to continue the heel v heel vibe with them. I don't know. I like the Page sisters as I like them as they are. I wouldn't want to see that change.
No.
The whole Mean Girls thing works really well with all of the girls there, including Ella. So obviously take Taylor out that conversation, but the Mean Girls things with Ella and Kenzie and Kylie work so well. I'd be kind of sad to see that end.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to see that continue. But Ella Envy will take on Kenzie Paige at the Crockett Cup for the Women's World Championship.
Yeah, that should be good.
Should be good indeed. Now, next week, they only announced two matches. There was the play-in finals. It's the Spectaculars, or should we say the new Spectaculars, or Spectaculars 3.0, I don't know, versus Cheese and Orlando
Yep,
back next week in the play-in finals. And the Fixers go against Max, the
Max and
Entire
Jedias.
Judias. Jesus.
That's a match and a half. That's another four large human beings in a ring with each other. So
They may have to reinforce the ring on that because that is a huge bunch of people in the ring. But
yeah,
that's next week. I don't know if there's going to be anything else announced. That is all cooking with Carlson, obviously back. Uh,
sure. There's no more first round matches, is there?
that's the last two. No, sorry, the playing finals. Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
That'll be a first round, and then the Spectaculars and Cheese Orlando is the playing finals to get to the first round. So
Okay,
another
okay.
couple, I suppose.
So I don't know what else will be on. I thought it was very heavy on the promos this week,
Yeah, promo
very
heavy.
heavy on the mics. I don't know what next week will be like.
Yeah.
I guess we have to wait and see, and then hopefully that means the Crockett Cup will be airing fairly quickly.
And in full swing, hopefully, as well, which is good. Speaking of NWA, just got to do a couple. I just finished with the Camaro Jackson from World League, so we're talking the territories, our brand new series that we've got coming out. So this week you will hear from Camaro Jackson from World League Wrestling, the Harley Race Academy. Find out about his journey. Find out about all the advice that Harley Race and Trevor Murdoch gave him this past weekend at the Back to the Territory show at NWA put on. but we still have a couple more. We've got a kind of Talking Territories NWA Spotlight crossover coming up with Casey Kazana from the Country Gentleman. I know we didn't, although AJ Kazana was a, why you got me coming back on last week? But you know, we got to be fair. We got to give Casey his chance, AJ.
Absolutely.
As I always said, you are welcome on at any point at all. Jaden Newman from Joe Kazana Promotions will also be coming on, as will former TNA star Sam Bill from Exodus Pro Wrestling. So we're getting around the territories ourselves, and we're looking forward to that series. As I said, the interview with Kamara will drop tomorrow at time of recording, so it'll be Friday. You can hear that. I also had the great team of Podstars on this past week as well. So they're going to be dropping soon. So keep eyes on that. But before I finish with my announcement, Fee, you've just wrapped up with Jake the Snake. What is going on in your busy world?
What have we got this weekend? On Saturday, I have W3L Resolution from Crockett Ice Arena, which features a steel cage match between Mike Missile and the Blood Tourist King Sharp. So that is going to be very interesting. There's also a number one contenders match for the Women's Championship. So that's also on the tables as well. In terms of the rest of the matches, I'm not sure. So that's this week. And then where are we? The following weekend, I have it's gala season basically. So the weekends are getting taken up with galas and fetes and various bits and pieces. So it's going to be a summer of wrestling in fields, hopefully without the rain, and multiple trips on the waltzers at all the shows when they're there as well.
Indeed, that is going to be good for you. And Inside the Ropes tour is coming up with whom?
In July, so just a month away basically. Now I need to get the dates right. 15, 14, 15, 12th, Friday the 12th of July, we are in London with Elijah. And then Monday the 15th of July, we are in Glasgow also with Elijah as well. Tickets are available from itrtix.com. And the following tour after Elijah, we have two shows with none other than the beautiful Lita on the 9th and 10th of September. Again, itrtix.com. We're in Glasgow and London for those two shows as well. And there's a whole host of other things in between. Premier British Wrestling have a big show in Dumbarton on the 28th of June. There's more W3L action. The end of July, Premier British Wrestling are up at the Belladrum at Tartan Heart Music Festival. Again, it'll be my third music festival. I'm super excited. We have a circus tent that we perform in. We have huge crowds at that. And then W3L Top and Tail on the Thursday and the Sunday after as well. So that'll be fun. Loads to look forward to.
Busy, busy, busy Fee is what you are. Not a busy bee, you're a busy Fee. So yes, I can make an announcement now. First off, this announcement, I have to thank everybody that's been associated with in this channel, yourself, Dave, Andy, Parker, Gary, Joe, Rachel, Chris, anyone that's been involved in it, every guest that we've had on, everyone that has listened to my dulcet tones and our dulcet tones, whether it's been on Spotify or on YouTube. But I can officially announce that the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast is now all elite. Yes, we are now members of the All Elite Media Department, and our first interview will be coming up very, very soon. And I can announce who that is. It is with the Murder Hawk monster, Mr. Lance Archer. Will be coming on the show very soon to promote All In, which will be over here on obviously in August. Immensely, immensely proud moment for us always. Is what we've been doing, everything that we've done for, and it's finally happened with AEW. So massive thank you to AEW for allowing us into their world and into their wrestling pool. And hopefully it's the start, a bit like TNA, of more wrestlers to come. But other than that, you can watch NWA Power on the CW app over in America, or if you're in the UK or internationally, get yourselves a VPN and watch it on the CW app from there. We'll be back. Well, we're going to be doing more interviews, but they don't know that yet. But we're going to do more interviews for the Talking Territories show this week, and they will air over the coming weeks as we introduce you to the wrestlers of the Talking to the Territories and the ones that you will see on the Back to the Territory show that NWA recorded this past weekend. Fee, go and get some sleep after the next
Well,
3 days. Been wonderful as always, and we will do this Powerr again next week. We will hope to see you all next week on the NWA Powerr Review on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Until then, everybody check out our stuff on social media, HTT Buckle on Twitter, Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, and all other social media outlets. Until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, good night.